I just had to let you know you're mine. Hands on your body, I don't wanna waste no time. Feels like forever, even if forever tonight. Just lay with me.
What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Golden, back on the fucking patio with another freaking video. Alright, so basically, I've tried to redo this video, and when I shot it the first time, I realized I just wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. I'm back and better than ever, and we just finna get this out the way. We finna just hurry up and get this over with, and finna call it a night. So basically, this is gonna go into the second love from the first one. Is gonna go into the second one. So instead of doing what I did with that one and like giving the entire story down by down, I'm gonna just talk about the things that made me upset, honestly. With my second love, I was 15, and it lasted all the way till I was like, it lasted from 15 all the way to 17. And we dated. In total, I think we only really dated for like 6 to 7 months. We talked for like maybe 3, and then my junior year was just on and off, basically. So we dated, and he was a decent boyfriend. Like, he was very sweet. He was sweet, he was attentive, he was all those things when we were dating. Towards the end of the relationship, I think we both kind of just got into our own world, became mad self-involved. So he was like shutting down, and I had shut down, and then I was trying to get him to open back up, and he just wasn't going for it. So we did wind up breaking up. And the thing that bothered me about the breakup was I felt like I wanted it. Like, you know, I was in my feelings about it. I was hurt. I was crying. And I was basically like, I was asking this nigga to stay. Like, I was basically asking him to stay, you know, asking why we can't make it work. Like, why is you giving up? And he just wasn't going for it. So after that, we decided to stay friends, which I personally believe we should not have done. I think we should have given each other some space. We should have, you know, just spent time by ourselves. Or at least I don't know what he had going on, but I needed some space. But we decided to be friends. And as we decided to be friends, and then fast forward to around my birthday. This was the first time that I realized like that I wasn't really ready to move on, because there was rumors going around with him and this girl, and I was like, oh hell no, like how could you, like, oh my gosh, like I was in my feelings. And that's the first time that I realized that I just wasn't ready, because after we had broken up, we stayed friends. So we were still texting, still talking, still acting like everything was okay. Like, you don't just jump out of a relationship back into a friendship. Like, you don't just do that, especially if you're not ready. Hey, power to the people who can. I'm not one of those people. So then that happened, and I blocked him for that summer. I didn't talk to him, and I didn't talk to the girl, because me and her were quote-unquote friends. God damn. We was quote-unquote friends, and I just felt like, you're not my friend if you want to talk to my ex. So basically, you want to date him, if you want to make that your man's, you can do that, and I support you. I feel like everyone deserves to move on, but you're not going to be in my life out here moving on with someone who I'm not over. We wound up becoming cool again. Honestly, we became cool again, me and the boy. Anyway, with the girl, I kind of tolerated her presence, because I really wasn't tripping off that. It really wasn't even about her at that point. It was about him. So, you know, I just got over it, became cool with them or whatever. And then with the boy, it just became a lot of on and off. At first, it was okay. It was fine. But after we had kissed for the first time since we had broken up, it went downhill. I wanted to kiss him because we was being all flirty and stuff like that. And I wanted to kiss. And I asked him for a kiss. And then he gave me a kiss. And I felt like if he didn't want to kiss me, he shouldn't have kissed me, because I feel like that started the bullshit that we just went through for our whole junior year. It became like, it literally turned into me waking up and not knowing if we was gonna be cool or if we wasn't gonna be cool. And it turned into me, like, towards the end, I really only stayed around for our friends, because we were all friends. It was me, him, my other friend who's a girl, and then my other friend who was a guy. We was all friends. And so towards the end, I really just stuck around because I was tired of separating them. Because when I first blocked him, I separated the motherfucking group. Like, you can't hang out with me and hang out with that nigga at the same time. I won't allow it. Which was just petty and childish. So, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna hold you. It is what it is. But it just turned into a lot of back and forth. And it was draining. It was draining as hell. Like, not knowing if we was gonna be cool that day. People would text me like, oh, what'd you do to him? And like, it was just too much. And I feel like at one point we had a really good bond. We was really close and stuff like that. And then it kind of just all went left. I felt by myself. And even when it came to my friends, I felt by myself, because I felt like everybody was on this nigga's side. Everybody was on his side. Even when they weren't on his side, I felt like they was on his side. And like, I just felt like he always only wanted to deal with me when I didn't want to deal with him anymore. So after, you know, I was a sad little pathetic little bitch and I was chasing his ass, and then I would realize that I was being a sad little pathetic bitch, so I would just get it together and try to move on or whatever. That's when he wanted to come around. That's when he wanted to be nice and be sweet and do all these things and stuff like that. And then next morning he would be gone. So I really got to a point of just like, I didn't care. Like, I would walk past that nigga and ignore him. He would walk past me and ignore me too. But then it was like when we all kicked it as a group, that nigga was like cool with me. And he used to tell people that he only hung around with me because of the group and stuff like that. But there was plenty of times where all of them niggas would leave and it would just be me and him by ourselves. But I mean, whatever you had to tell yourself to keep your hopes up, you feel me? Whatever you had to tell yourself. Going back over this, all of this and stuff like that, I realized like it really only bothered me because I felt like I was being disrespected. I felt like, and it's not even about him, it's about me. Like, I was mad and I was lashing out, taking it on him, because I just allowed myself to be disrespected. I allowed myself to, you know, I felt like I was in the same situation as I was the last time, except this was my boyfriend and we were public. So I honestly feel like it was karma. And I told the universe, like, look, we need to be even Steven at this point, because dang, I get it. That shit hurt. But I just felt like he was fake as fuck towards the end. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, when we were dating, he was a sweetheart. We were okay. I think we just had creative differences and we weren't meant for each other. But I feel like once we broke up, everything after that was just some bullshit. Do I think he ever loved me? No, I don't. And I'm not being petty. I'm not being shady. But I do not feel like he ever loved me. I feel like he wanted to love me because I loved him. And I feel like he was sticking around and making himself miserable in a situation because he's a good guy. So and trying to be the good guy, he just stuck around, but the nigga was like lashing out on me. So like, I would have rather him just leave. If I'm not where you wanted to be at, if I wasn't who you wanted to be around, then you should have just left, period. Because you trying to be the good guy and you trying to stick around for the group, or you don't want to hurt me, or whatever the case may be. But all you doing is like hurting my feelings. All you doing is giving me insecurities, and all I'm doing is just sitting here letting you, because I'm young and I feel like you attract what you feel like you deserve. And I felt like, I don't know, at 15 and 16, it was just hard. And so I felt like there wasn't gonna be nobody better than him type shit. Like, that's how low I got. I got that low, and I felt like he was the one. Wasn't gonna be nobody better than him. So I allowed him to just come back. And then towards the end, like once I was getting ready to move to Florida, like around like February, March, I would just ignore that nigga and didn't care. But then there was this part of me that was kind of just like, dang, like, you know, that is my friend and it is awkward and we have the same friends. So I would try to be cool. But then being cool always led to us flirting and stuff like that. And then it would just start the cycle all over again. So towards like the end, like after prom, like before prom, the month before prom and forward, I just really didn't give a fuck anymore. Like, I was slowly preparing myself because I knew in my mind that I wasn't going to talk to any of these people when I moved to Florida. None of that. Like, they was going to get X'd out and replaced, period. So I kind of just like let it be cool. And it would be funny because like like I said, he would do shit like walk past me and ignore me. And then one of my friends had called him out one time and was like, oh, how you gonna say hi to me but not my sister, and you was just at her house last night type shit. Like, it just got to that point, and I honestly didn't even give a fuck. That nigga could walk past me and I would walk past him, and I would just, because I was so drained from the situation. I was like, shit, nigga, I'm finna move. I'm finna be in a whole different state. You thought because I wasn't shit, I needed a fresh start. I'm talking about shaved off my hair, all of that. I became a completely different person because I needed a fresh start. So with him, basically, I wound up, like what I say, I felt disrespected. I felt like he just had one foot out the door and he never knew if he wanted to fuck with me. I don't feel like he ever loved me. I feel like he wanted to love me because I loved him, which just in the end was making him suffer because he was like real, like he just kept lashing out, and it was a whole bunch of petty back and forth. I do think that it got, you know, I feel like if we had just left it where it was once we broke up, we would have been able to remain friends later on down the line and stuff like that. But as it got toxic and as it got, I would say things to him and he would say things to me and stuff like that, it just got out of line. But I feel like the thing that really upset me the most, and that's probably why it was the hardest for me to do this video, what really upset me the most is that I feel like I watched him fall in love with somebody else. And he and everybody else made me feel crazy because I was saying that he was falling in love with someone else. Like, I would be like, yep, he like her, like that's gonna happen. And they'd be like, nah, you just tripping, you tripping. And lo and behold, I was right. And honestly, I wish him and old girl the best. I really do, because they complement each other really well. I feel like they deserve each other. I feel like they have a lot in common. I feel like, you know, like I said, they're very cute together. And I feel like they're going to teach each other a lot of things about themselves. I do. I feel like they're going to learn a lot. Honestly, that's really where it was. Like, I sat down in this chair knowing that I wasn't going to be doing all this extra stuff. Because with the first story, I knew that I was going to tell the story because, I mean, hey, it was a story. But with this one and the next one, I'm kind of really only doing them because I said I was going to do them. And at first, I was moving on and I wasn't over either of these situations. But with time, I definitely, especially now that I'm looking back on it all, it basically just solidifies how I felt about these people. I'm finna do another one, the last one. Like I said, everything I had to say about the second one. I wish him the best. I wish his girl the best. And, you know, that's kind of just how I feel. I feel like it was wrong. It was bad timing. We was too young. We was too immature. And I felt like as we got older and as we started experiencing life and stuff like that, we drifted more and more away from each other. And I don't think it was a situation either of us really wanted to be in, for real. I can't speak for him, but I'm just saying, from what it seemed like we neither one of us wanted to be around each other type shit. Like, really, I feel like it got to the point where we was just sticking it out for the friends. Of course, we cared about each other, and you know we did have a friendship, so it was easy for us to be around each other. But I feel like at some point we just didn't. I didn't want to be fucking bothered. I didn't want to be bothered. I didn't want to see that nigga. I didn't want to hear that nigga, because, like I said, you can't just go from being in a relationship to being friends. Not right away, I feel like. So really, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna sit here and bust out all these motherfucking videos because I've been slacking and I'm I got off early today and I'm off tomorrow, so we finna bust out all of these, and they're not finna be more than 20 minutes because I'm not editing all of that. So on to the next one.